Hello and happy July, everybody. Welcome back to my potager here in Vermont. It is July 9th today, and I am going to harvest the garlic. I'm really excited. First of all, I love garlic, and second of all, this is my first year harvesting it. I planted it last fall, I believe in October, and I will link here the video where we planted it. Let's get started. This is what they're looking like right now. You can see those scapes that I didn't get. I don't know if they came back or I just missed that many of them, but they are definitely ready. To be honest, they probably should have been harvested. I probably could have harvested them a week ago, but I'm doing it now, so it'll be fine. The soft necks over there have all fallen over, so it is most definitely time. Let's see how they look. So it's now a couple days later. I have left the garlic out on my breezeway for right now, which is not a horrible location for it. Some of it's still in the basket there. For various reasons, I want to bring it in and just go through it. I'm actually going to count how many of each type I have and maybe even measure so I can see how big. I'm going to have the kids, I want to have the kids help me with that if I can find them. And and I'm also curious because I did leave the scapes on some of them, if those ones ended up smaller or not. So just doing some investigation, and then I'm going to hang them in small groups. And I have different places I want to try hanging them. Out here is one. I thought this is a decent location, but I'm worried. So in my research, it says somewhere cool, dry, and dark. And out here is mostly in the shade and it's sheltered, but we can it gets a little bit of direct sun at the very end of the day, and if it rains really hard with really strong wind, they could get wet, so that makes me a little nervous. So I don't want to leave them all out here. I have a couple other places in the house, but I haven't really put together my food storage as I want to yet. So yeah, I'm just going to go through them, and then I'm going to hang them up, and I think I'll label them because I want to know what kind's which. Right, so let's do this. the garlic has been hung or is in baskets. Really just the soft neck garlic is in a basket here. It's a wire one, so there's plenty of airflow. This is probably not the best location for it though, so it will probably be moved, but for right now it's there. I managed to clean up everything else. There are 3 different locations where I hung things. There are a couple bunches, I guess, in the breezeway. There's a couple right here in the kitchen dining area, but on a wall that it doesn't get direct sunlight. And there's more in the basement where it's cool and there's some airflow. And I'm thinking of making a little food storage zone there, but haven't really set it up yet. But I just put some nails in the wall and hung them up. So I'll be checking on them and seeing what works best. And next year, maybe I'll have a better plan for what I'm doing with all of them and some organization. We'll see. But this is the first year I have successfully grown garlic and I am so excited. And I have to say it smells really good in here right now. Before I sign off for this video though, I did want to share with you some of the results from my measuring. So I was just curious as to, with the 4 different types, which one was the biggest heads. Now, the cloves might be a different story and we'll have to wait until after they're cured. And I'll probably do a different separate video on like taste test of them because I'm just really curious about that, and I can let you know about the clove size then too. But just for the head size, I did measure the diameter. Of course, they're not perfect circles, so I just measured the largest place across, I guess. So our largest were the German Extra Hardy, and they came out at an average of 2 2/3 inches. In diameter. Our smallest were the soft necks, which came out an average of 1 3/4 average diameter. And that didn't really surprise me super much. I've heard that hard necks grow better in this climate than the soft necks. So, and the other 2 were in the middle, and they were actually pretty close. So the Russian red garlic, which is a rocambole type, and the Siberian red, which is a marble purple stripe, averaged at 2.1 and 2.08, so really close for their average diameter. I also looked at scapes versus no scapes, and there was a tiny bit of difference for all of them. The average for the ones with scapes was slightly larger than the average for the ones where I cut the scapes was slightly larger than the ones where I didn't cut the scapes and left them on, but really a very small amount. And statistically, it's such a small sample size, especially because I cut most of the scapes off. So ones that had scapes on, there was just like a much smaller, the sample size for the scapes especially was much smaller, and the sample size overall is really small. So, but it was just a little experiment for myself. So there was a difference, just a really small one. But I think next year I would cut the scapes off just because they are delicious, and I will make more things with them next year. So I'm excited for my garlic. Did you grow garlic? Have you grown it before? I don't know. A next experiment I might do is we did collect some of those seed heads, and I may try planting some. Have you done that before? But of course, I will save more cloves this year to plant in the fall, and I will share with you when I do that. Until next time, everybody, happy gardening.